In this week's episode of Bake Across Europe, we're traveling to Germany for Christmas time. The Germans are masters at Christmas cookie baking. There are so many different recipes to choose from, and they look so beautiful displayed on a dessert table. I'm going to show you 3 of the most popular Christmas cookies to make in Germany this time of year: Zimtsterne, Spitzbuben, and Mandelhörnchen. Zimtsterne, or cinnamon stars, are an almond flour and egg white based cookie flavored with cinnamon. Spitzbuben, which actually has many regional variations of names such as Linzer and Hildebrötchen. This is a sandwich style cookie with jam in the middle, powdered sugar on the top cookie, and the top cookie has a decorative cutout so that you can see the jam in the center. Mandelhörnchen, or almond horns, are a similar dough to the Spitzbuben, where it's a sugar cookie based dough with almond flour added into it. And then they're shaped into crescents and topped with sliced almonds, and the ends are dipped in chocolate. But enough talking, and let me show you how to make these 3 German Christmas cookies. For this recipe, you will need 500 grams of ground almonds. You can use blanched or unblanched, 300 grams of powdered sugar, 2 egg whites, 2 tablespoons of almond liqueur such as amaretto, and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. For the glaze, you will need 1 egg white and 125 grams of powdered sugar. Begin by pouring the almond flour, powdered sugar, and cinnamon into a large bowl. Then whisk to combine. Next, add in the egg whites and almond liqueur and mix until a crumbly dough forms. Now, using your hands, bring it all together to form a smooth dough. If you find it is a little too dry, you can add 1 more tablespoon of almond liqueur. Cover and set the dough aside in the refrigerator while making the glaze. To make the glaze, beat 1 egg white until stiff peaks form. Then add in the powdered sugar, a little at a time, scraping down the sides of the bowl as needed. Sprinkle your work surface and your dough with a little bit of powdered sugar and roll out a small section of the dough until it is 1 centimeter thick. Using a small 6-pointed star cookie cutter, cut out your cookie dough. Then brush on the glaze using a pastry brush. Continue with the rest of your dough and place on a cookie sheet. Bake them in a 150°C or 300°F preheated oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on them that the glaze does not become too brown around the edges. You want the glaze to stay mostly white. Place them on a rack to cool and let them come to room temperature before enjoying. For the Spitzbuben, you will need 400 grams of all-purpose flour, 125 grams of ground hazelnuts. You can substitute ground almonds if needed. 250 grams of cubed, cold, unsalted butter, 200 grams of granulated sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract or 1 packet of vanilla sugar, 1 jar of jam. I'm using red currant jelly. Traditional flavors include red currant, apricot, and seedless raspberry, and about 100 grams of powdered sugar for sprinkling. To a food processor, add in the flour, hazelnuts, and sugar, and pulse until just combined. Now add in the chilled butter and pulse until it looks like wet sand. Add in the egg and vanilla and pulse until the dough comes together. You may need to scrape down the sides of the bowl a couple of times. Pour the dough into a bowl and knead with your hands until it forms a smooth dough. Divide the dough in half and form 2 discs. Wrap each disc with plastic wrap and place into the refrigerator for 1 hour to chill. Roll out 1 disc of the chilled dough onto your work surface until it is a 1/4 inch thick or 6 millimeters thick. Place the rolled out dough onto a cookie sheet and put in the freezer for 5 minutes. This will make the cutting out process easier. Using a cookie cutter with a decorative center cutout, or using a circular cookie cutter and a smaller cookie cutter for the center, cut out the tops of your cookies. After cutting out the tops, cut out bottom circles without cutouts. Make sure you cut out the same number of circles as you made top cookies. In a 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degree Fahrenheit oven, bake for 10 to 12 minutes. Keep an eye on the cookies, they burn very easily. You don't want them to be really very brown, just lightly golden on the edges. As you can see, I slightly overbaked some of my cookies. Place the decorative tops on a tray and sprinkle with powdered sugar. Place your bottom cookies bottom side up on a tray. Then heat your jam lightly in the microwave until it's smooth and slightly pourable, and place 1 teaspoon of jam on each bottom cookie. Place the decorative top cookies over the jam and press lightly to seal. Repeat the process with the rest of the cookies. For the Mandelhörnchen, you will need 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 125 grams of ground blanched almonds, 125 grams of granulated sugar, 125 grams of sliced almonds, 3 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon vanilla or 1 packet vanilla sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, 200 grams softened unsalted butter, and I forgot to show 1 egg white and 100 grams dark chocolate. To a mixer, add the sugar, butter, and vanilla extract and mix on medium speed until creamy. Mix in the egg yolks until well combined, and then add the flour and baking powder. And the ground almonds. Mix just until a dough forms. Roll the dough into a log and, taking small pieces at a time, roll out crescents. Place on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Brush each crescent with a lightly beaten egg white and then decorate with sliced almonds. Bake in a 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degree Fahrenheit preheated oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Place on a rack and cool. When the cookies are cool, gently melt the dark chocolate either over a double boiler on the stove or gently in the microwave. Dip the ends of each cookie in the melted chocolate, then place on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Place the baking sheet in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes to let the chocolate harden. One trick that I discovered a few years ago is that you can make these cookies a few weeks in advance and store them in the freezer in airtight containers. And you take them out the day before your holiday celebration, let them come to room temperature in the container. Don't lift the lid. You don't want any condensation to make the cookie dough, the cookies moist. And then the day of your party, open them up, put them on your dessert table, and you have these beautiful cookies that you made that you didn't have to spend hours on the day before Christmas Day. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. Let me know if you give any of them a try. And like I said, these cookies can be stored in airtight containers in the freezer a few weeks before Christmas, so you can make them in advance and serve them on Christmas Day. They make a beautiful display on your dessert table. As always, let me know if there's any recipes from Europe that you'd like to see me make on my channel. And if you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.